Great. So can you talk to us about your new bill, the No Bailouts for Reparations Act?
Absolutely. Well, the American taxpayer should not be forced to pay for radical, race-based reparation payments to please the woke left. And this is what's happening. So 3 weeks ago, I introduced legislation in response to reports like cities like San Francisco, who are trying to distribute race-based reparation payments, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And my bill, it's called the No Bailouts for Reparations Act, will prohibit federal funding to bail out states or municipalities that are implementing these ridiculous payments and programs.
And when you look at a state like California, we are in such deficits right now. We're in the red in many ways, and yet here we are talking. I think our reparations task force just concluded about maybe a month or so ago, and they're talking about millions here and millions there for certain eligible residents. Of course, a state that never had slavery, of course, and yet here they are going along with that. But when you look at these states, and as you said, I think out in Georgia, there's a county who's going forward with it. You know, these are municipalities and states that don't exactly have the money to be paying for this. So do you think that maybe their back pocket, their, last trump card up their sleeve, perhaps, is that they thought you guys, the federal government, was going to come in and bail them out? That way they think they can get the best of both worlds. They can appease the far left, who's been crying for this for decades, but then at the same time, it's not going to hurt them in their bottom line too much because they think, well, Uncle Sam's going to sweep in and save us. Do you think maybe that's what some of these municipalities and states were thinking about?
I'm convinced, completely convinced that this is what they're thinking, that the federal government will bail out these, these states and cities and counties that do this. These are states, cities, and counties that are already, as you said, in dire fiscal situations. They've racked up hundreds of billions of dollars in new expenditures on ridiculous race-based payments. They already have woke programs. And guess what? They're on the verge of bankruptcy already. Well, this bill will prevent the American taxpayer from having to bail them out. And it ensures that units of government that enact these reparation laws that are based on race and ethnicity or national origin or slavery are no longer eligible for bailouts or federal financial assistance.
And there's at least 13 of your colleagues who are joining you in this effort, including Congressman Burgess Owens. Are there others who you think might also join you in supporting this bill?
I think so. I think the closer we get to seeing some of these, like in California, this happening, I think you're going to see a lot more people say, wow, we can't have this happen. And I think we'll get a lot more people to get on it. And I think we'll get more on it anyway, because we absolutely, Kara, we've got to push back on these woke people like this that are bankrupting our country, taking us down a path of no return with open borders, with defunding police, the crime wave that we've seen all around the entire nation today, especially in these blue jurisdictions controlled by the Democrats. We've got to push back on this if we want to save our country.
And you think that there is just a supreme irony in the whole mess? You know, what do we always say about the left and their ideology is that they never take responsibility for their own actions. And of course, that's the part I'm highlighting, emphasizing. Look at criminals. They love criminals. And yet the criminal can just beat someone over the head in broad daylight. And you'll have lefties running to their defense saying, no, they're really misunderstood. Let them out of prison. And yet here with the reparations, the idea is to hurt those and to make them almost responsible for something they themselves never did. Have we kind of hit the rock bottom of craziness with the left? I think it was either Thomas Sowell who pointed that out, or actually I think it was the economist Thomas Sowell who pointed that one out.
I think so too, but quite frankly, I think the American people who do believe in the rule of law and our Judeo-Christian foundation of morality, of limited government, lower taxes, I think they're seeing in Technicolor what the Democrats Party has become, the party of radical socialism, Marxism, of victim groups. Where your skin color actually determines whether you get accepted to schools, whether you get charged with crimes or not, and we're seeing this over and over again. And quite frankly, it's gone over into the into our Department of Justice, as we've seen already, where you have a two-tiered system of justice. And to see what is happening to our former president, Donald J. Trump, it is so far beyond the boundary of reasonableness. You can't even describe it. We've got a president who was attacked, demeaned, impeached twice. They wanted to impeach him even before he took office. The Russia hoax that came out was proven by Special Prosecutor Mueller to have been completely fake. The dossier, the Russian dossier, totally fake. And now they're so scared of him, Kara. They don't want the man to run again because he knows how they operate. And if we can get him back into the White House, I can tell you, there's going to be some justice served during those years. I can tell you that if that happens.